if I just get into a little awkward situation, I don't immediately follow the people. If they're spooked, I'm spooked.
It's anecdotal though. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, I do see what you're saying. It's just if this was so clear cut, black and white, the charges would show that. Like, for sure, 100%.
Welcome back to Random University, where today we're going to discuss a much more serious matter today, where we're going to talk about things that are a lot less comedic and a lot less fun and enjoyable. As that's usually what I like to do here on this channel, where I talked about my 600-pound life. I've mentioned hoarders. I've talked about Squid Game. I've talked about a lot of Looney Tunes type of stuff here on this platform. But today we're going to dive into our investigations department of this university, and we're going to talk about a very disturbing pattern of men talking about, well, groomish type of behavior and a lot of Geppetto activity. As a lot of men in the manosphere, I've noticed a lot of people with these giant talking platforms as far as relationships and how to conduct themselves in dating nowadays is really starting to grow out there and talk about things as far as liking underage children and people being exposed out there for such nefarious activities. And it's really been bothersome and really disturbing. As somebody who wants to have children one day, I am getting concerned about the world that they're going to grow up in, in general. And as somebody who has a lot of nieces and nephews and knows a lot of people who have children that are very young, I do get quite concerned knowing that a lot of these individuals are out there and they are preying on your children. Now, I'm not going to say you should walk around just terrified every minute of the day, but you should definitely keep a wandering eye for something like this, because it is something that everybody needs to have out there. Now, I'm not sure exactly why the movie Sound of Freedom was, so blacklisted and a movie that was not wanting to be shown in a lot of theaters, as I watched it recently on Amazon, and it was a really great film. Now, it doesn't just, perfectly paint a picture of what's going on in reality, but it does give you an idea of what's really taking place, as a lot of people are preyed upon, as a lot of children are, like I said, they're victims of a lot of very bad and scary behavior. There's a lot of negative activity that's taking place out there, and it should be brought to attention, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. Hopefully you enjoy the content today. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, as we are going to dive into this, as people out there like Jay Waller or Justin Waller, Andrew Tate, and people from the Whatever podcast, a lot of these individuals talk about wanting virgins and a lot of young aged women who have not been exposed to the world or reality and stuff like that, and really it's just a cover up for a lot of them wanting children who are a lot younger than that. And that is the part that I want to dive in today, because it is really creepy and it's really disturbing, and I think we should expose a couple people that have been brought up recently here on some other platforms, like Fatty from the Manosphere channel, like from the Lapeef Network, and also Little Groom, a guy who really we should be calling Little Broom now, because we should be dusting his entire catalog in his face entirely off the internet, because he doesn't belong here anymore. Now, I know I wasn't going to bring up too many jokes today, but I couldn't help but throw that one out there because, well, it feels fitting for today's video. Hopefully you enjoy.
Creep on in.
Evidence, so y'all can stop gaslighting me, y'all.
They're marrying at 12, like 20-year-olds with 12-year-olds.
Because they all predators. Because they all predators.
No.
I
do
believe Fatty. If the legal age of consent was 12, he definitely entertained it.
But I believe that in those cultures. But I believe that in those cultures. But I believe that in those cultures.
Well, starting today's couch session, I want to shout out my boy LT from LT TV, who has a wonderful channel, who actually exposes a lot of these weirdos that's out here on the internet, and really likes to put a lot of it on the forefront, because it should be put out there. As in his recent live streams, he's been discussing Fatty, a guy from, well, like I was talking about before, the Lapeef Network, and he's on a lot of these other Manosphere panels talking with another set of black men. And I will say, to those individuals, they don't all agree with this stuff. It's not everybody on those platforms and forums that agree with this nonsense. It's just the fact that these people tend to have these platforms and they have quite a big following, and these individuals get to speak their rhetoric on a daily basis, and they speak in code and they speak in undertones, to where really a lot of people start signing off on this. And if you start looking at some of the comments that you see in some of these chat boxes on some of these live streams, you'll realize there is a lot of disturbing people out there that try to justify this ridiculous behavior, and that's the part that nobody can seem to understand. And once again, I really appreciate him doing some really great work out there and shouting out and really calling out these individuals who need to be exposed here on the internet. In case you were curious, they're just talking about how the legal age of consent in some other countries is 12 years old, and you have like 20-year-olds marrying 12-year-olds and stuff like that in some countries like Portugal or some other overseas countries that I can't name at this time.
Let's get into the footage, y'all.
Do you guys understand that, for example,
look at the question asked. Jonathan Barronville, he was pissed off. He had enough. There's too much pedo jokes. He's like, y'all are fucking weirdos. So he actually inquired. He says, so if the legal age of consent was 12 years old, would you weirdos be fucking 12-year-old children too, you damn predators? That's what he said. He asked the question, seriously.
Now, obviously, I'm extremely grateful for the individual who called these guys out on that panel, wondering and asking this question seriously, because quite frankly, not everybody who watches these videos or, tunes into these live streams support this behavior. There's a lot of people who obviously have brains for themselves and they can actually think for themselves, and they're not going to always be indoctrinated just by listening to people speak for hours. Some people actually listen to the content and realize like, whoa, like they're talking some crazy stuff. Do you hear this? Yeah, that's basically what he's getting at this point. He's like, are y'all being serious right now? Would y'all really want to hook up with a 12-year-old? And it sounds like the conversation y'all are having, some of y'all are trying to justify that, because this is disgusting behavior. It's flat out disgusting. It's all really gross. It's really awful. And I mean, just the whole thought process behind it. It's like, who cares if it's legal, right? Like, even if it's legal, do you not visibly see the women, or not the women, the girls that are actually out there? They're not women. Heck, they're not even teens. They are children. At 12 years old, there is nowhere near the full-blown progression that you need to. Like, they are at level 3. They're not at level 99 yet. They're nowhere near even the middle of the pack. They aren't even there's nowhere near maturity. I'm sorry. They barely even went through puberty, and these people are talking about marriage. I'm sorry. In every country, in any part of the world, that's creepy to me. Now, obviously, the states even have laws that's like, well, 16 is legal and all that stuff like that. That's up to you if you want to have the moral high ground to be like, well, I want to date a 16-year-old. That's gross, man. I'm sorry. If you are like 35, or if you're 30, anywhere like in your mid-20s and up, and you're really looking people in their mid-teens to try to marry and have sexual encounters with, there's something wrong with you, and you need to be checked into the sexual, you need to be put into the directory so people can no longer be around you. You need to have that mark that's put on you to where everybody who lives in your neighborhood around you knows that you're a sexual predator. Everybody should have that around you. If you have those thoughts, you need to be exposed.
They were having a conversation about cultural relativity. Now watch Fatty actually have a serious take on this. And then he doubles down in footage we are going to react to later. He says, no, if it was legal though. There's nothing wrong. If it was legal. Okay, so if it was legal, you'd be porking 12-year-olds, you goddamn rapist. What the fuck are we doing out here?
And that's truly a great point. What are we doing about it? I honestly don't think we're doing enough. I mean, even Little Groom brought up a point when he was trying to defend himself with this sick activity over here on his platform, talking about, well, here, I'll just show you the clip.
Listen, Reddit, I'm sorry to tell you, nobody gives a bro. Nobody, bro. I'm still here. Y'all gotta come harder than that, bro. Y'all gotta find me or something, bro, because I ain't going nowhere. No matter what 1090 Jake say.
And he's right. I mean, to me, sadly, in a part of what he said, I actually believe he is right. Nobody effing cares. Nobody's trying to do anything about this stuff, at least not enough. There's a lot of people who do care, and a lot of people who would do everything in their power, or at least to their knowledge, that they can to defend, the children out there and the people who are victims of this activity, and to get these pedos and these predators off the street. Like, they would do literally anything that they possibly can to make sure they could rid the world of all of these individuals. Sadly, there's a lot more of these individuals out there than I think a lot of people even realize. Like, I mean, literally, you can walk outside right now. There's probably like 1 out of every 30 people. Somebody's out there trying to snatch some kid up, or somebody's out there, having some fantasies with some child, P word out there. And it's just a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of CP out there. And a lot of these people have this stuff buried onto their laptops, buried onto their desktops, put on a million different flash drives, just stashed somewhere in a safe somewhere. That way they can never get exposed. But eventually they do get exposed because these people are sick. Just sort of like the people who have the pee addiction. When I say pee, I'm talking about corn. And I'm trying to keep this from being demonetized, because I want to actually get this video out there for people. So I'm talking about corn that starts with a P, in case you don't really, recognize what I'm saying here. But nonetheless, a lot of these people, they have a lot of addictions that they can't really seem to get over. And these addictions tend to, spill over all out into the streets for everybody to see. And eventually they can't hold it back, and they can't stop themselves from exposing themselves any further. Eventually it gets put to the light. I mean, it gets shined out there. Eventually people will see it.
But I believe that in those cultures, those men are predators. When a man is willing to marry a 12-year-old girl, he does not think that he about to do any damage. I'm not messing with no young girl because
you're gonna have a conversation with a 12-year-old girl.
I'm gonna do massive damage to that. I'm not touching that.
Now, after such a suspicious and sketchy comment by Unlikely there on that platform, he's now officially up for review. Because seriously, it was like he was trying to make a joke out of that situation for something that's really sick and sadistic. Like, that was really gross to think about. Like, who's really talking about wrecking the child? Really, you should just be talking about not touching the child at all. Like, why are you... He started off good, but then he had to throw that in there. And now all of a sudden, I have questions.
I'm not touching that. I'm going to do major damage to that. He was talking literally about this dick size.
He was. And he was also grinning and smiling in such a creepy way. Like, why is he smiling in that clip? Like, I know they put it on pause, but why is he smiling while he said that? It's not funny. Like, Geppetto jokes are not funny. There's nothing funny about effing with kids. At least I don't find the humor in it. Like, I don't. Like, some people don't find my dry humor to be funny. I don't find that shit funny whatsoever.
Literally.
You already thinking too far into this. Wait a minute.
Men, bro. Any man that will mess with a 12-year-old girl is a little dick man, bro.
This is such brain rotting, degenerate levels of thinking and processing upstairs that I just can't even put my mind around it. For him to sit there and literally think anybody who's messing with a child has just got little small ding dong, that is such a fallacy and so far from the truth and such a stretch from what it's actually reality that I can't even comprehend it up to this point. Truthfully, that is not the case at all. You got pretty normal men out there trying to have sex with little girls. Doesn't make any sense, but that is the truth. It has nothing to do with ding dong size or any of that. Nothing. He's over here trying to make jokes about this situation. It has nothing to do with wrecking no little girls. All they really care about is getting what they want in the end of the day. That's the only thing they care about. They don't care about wrecking their people's mindsets, their mentality, trauma, building all that up for the future where they're going to end up going crazy or jumping off a bridge one day. Like, usually I make little like small dark jokes about that stuff. Today it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. Like, I just don't find his comment to be humorous whatsoever. And they're just going in the wrong direction. At first, I thought some of these people were actually going to be, you know, a little bit more combative with the situation. I think one of the people on the panel ends up doing that. But too many of them seem to be enjoying and having a good time out of this conversation.
Every man that messes with a 12-year girl is a short dick man. He told him, not me. He said it.
He did. And he's definitely up for review by the internet sleuths out here like me and LT just for saying some nonsense like that. But don't sit here and try to pass the buck like you didn't say something cringe too. Now, Poetic Flacco made a really good point here in this next clip I'm going to show you, but the very first part I had to cut out because he was stuttering like he had a vibrator stuck in his throat. So I'm just going to save him the public embarrassment on that one and just go ahead and show you the clip.
And bro, like, and it's very rare to get above 1,000 sub and like above 10,000 sub, right? So why even deal with that? Like, why not just say, hey, bro, I've earned my stripes. I got my subs now. Let me try to transition and do something else, opposed to argue with dumb, weird, decrepit, no life niggas. Cause bro, listen,
I'm gonna make this short and sweet, bro. All right, I'm gonna keep it a beam, bro. None of you niggas, bro. I'm gonna be nice. All right, I'm not gonna be mad or anything like that. If I was out here touching, I'm gonna say it again.
Now, textbook lying ass motherfucker phrase right here. If I was doing this, why would I do this? Now it's incumbent on me to figure out why you would be so dumb to do such a... Like, come on, man. What the hell is this? I hate when folks do this shit.
To add more context to that, it's basically sort of like when somebody is committing a crime or they're trying to scam you, they will try to convince you, why would I do such a thing? Sort of like, okay, if I'm a person who has such great moral integrity, or if I'm a person who tries to think of them as a high thinking individual or a nice guy, why would I be trying to screw you over? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I be trying to steal your money? I am a high morality type of person. When it's like they have the least amount of morals of anybody that you will know. They will literally take everything from you all the way down to your last dollar. No matter how desperate you are to have that money, those people will try to convince you they are saints, that they are the greatest individuals that there are on the planet. It's just like those fake Christians or those fake any type of religious folks out there, or people who are out there in the church that are really out there just trying to scam you for your dollar. They will try to convince you that they are trying to do everything for you, when everything they're really trying to do is for themselves. And they will try to manipulate you. They will try to finesse you. They will try to trick you in so many different ways to try to make you believe that, nah, man, this is a good person. And they're not. They're not. They're trash. Sort of like, have you ever heard a person who makes a lot of money or who has a really huge platform ever say something like, now, why would I do such a thing? The only thing you can think is, I don't know why you would do such a thing. I don't know why you would try to scam over all your fans and screw over all your followers and stuff like that, because it doesn't make any sense to the normal person. But you're trying to convince me that you wouldn't do such a thing when there's so much evidence out there of you doing so. Like, there's literally video, there's text messages, there's emails, there's all sorts of proof, there's DNA evidence, there's everything you can possibly imagine to expose these individuals. And yet they still try to convince you that they would never do such a thing. Crazy.
I hate when folks do this.
I don't care what you think. I don't give a what you saying. I don't know what niggas want to hear. What is the fact is, I was charged with the battery, bro. If I was out here touching ass cheeks, I would have a sexual crime. It is just that simple.
It comes from this fully indoctrinated and just seeped in levels of narcissism, like to depths that you will never fully understand of somebody who has a true God complex, somebody who really thinks that they are probably the all creator of this world, or somebody who doesn't believe that their stuff really doesn't stink. Like, if they pooped on the ground and they sniffed it, like literally it would have no scent. They really think that stuff would smell like roses, but their roses really do smell like boo-boo. It is one of those things, and these people always try to manipulate like that. And I want to keep re-emphasizing these points because I want to hammer it into your head that there are a lot of people out there in your daily lives that will try to finesse you. Like, you should never truly trust any of these platforms. Like, you should never fully trust me, though I want you to be able to at some point in time, but I understand that's not even a safe thing. What if I go off the wagon one day and I just start doing crazy things and you find out in my personal life I am just a heinous individual? Like, eventually, say if this platform makes it up there big and then people start calling me up on my Facebook or my Instagram or even on YouTube, they just start calling me out and let me know all the past stories of times I've robbed them or mistreated them or scammed them out of things. Then it's like, man, I can't believe Mike actually did some stuff like that. Like, man, really? He's that kind of guy? And it's like, man, you know what? I guess I really don't know that individual personally, and I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. Though I really want people to think that this platform and a lot of other platforms that they follow do have integrity, because majority of us really do. And a lot of these people who try to grow their stuff from the ground up really do have high levels of integrity, and they really do care about the product they put out there and the message that they display out there for their followers and kids and etc. Now, there's a lot of people who are on those kid platforms who really need to be watched and monitored, because they're really out there indoctrinating your children. You really should be paying attention to the stuff that they have on their iPad and stuff like that, or their tablets or whatever they're using. It doesn't matter. Microsoft Surface. Regardless, you need to be paying attention to the content that a lot of people are absorbing, because a lot of it is detrimental and a lot of it is pedo-ish.
Whose intelligence are you disrespecting right now? All right, when you say some dumb shit like that, if this would have been this, I would know. You're so damn stupid. Not everybody is as dumb or as a linear thinker as you are. All right, we think about things a lot more in depth with a lot more nuance than just, oh, if this was this, it would be this. It's like, bro, what kind of dumbass excuse was that when we caught you and we seen you in 4K touching some little minor's ass?
Just in case I didn't actually leave that extra bit of context, we have transitioned over to Little Groom now. We moved off of Fatty a little bit because that platform was getting really disturbing. I will leave a link in the description if you want to go actually check out that live stream by LT, because there's a lot of context in there that needs to be discussed. So I'm not going to take all of his content because that feels very unfair, and he does a really great job of putting on his live streams and putting that material and doing the deep dives and investigating. So I'm not going to take that from him. I want y'all to go ahead and visit his channel. Feel free to subscribe, as I always say, yada yada yada. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel first, but I'm going to leave that up for his channel.
Like, what are we doing out here?
Why don't we go ahead and just roll the tape?
My Annie kids, fucking filthy, man. What the hell is this? Yeah, all right. That's just, can we zoom this in? Oh, no, we can't because it's not a picture. Man, what are we seeing out here? Are you kidding me?
Now, if you didn't think that angle was bad enough, how about this next angle?
What is that? What the f is that? He has his phone underneath her ass. Okay, so you're defending this? Oh, this is my friend. This nigga needs help? No, f this nigga. If he was from my hood, we'd be packing his ass out. What the f are we talking about? Pause. The hell are we talking about? We're not just unfriending and leaving them the f alone. We taking that shit into our own hands.
So you're going to have to explain to me what you were doing with that phone. Now, it was already confirmed. This was Little Groom in the video. Like, this was him. Like, that's already been exposed. And there's another clip that I got from another guy, like KBLive's channel, which also feel free to subscribe to his channel as well. He got really good content. I don't want to say it so matter-of-factly, but I know it gets tiresome hearing stuff like that. But just either way, from his channel, I got another angle and another perspective of this.
It is police statements that should corrupt, not an unofficial document. Don't read an unofficial document. That's not in my discovery, for one. Wait, hold on. Wait. Read an actual charge.
What's unofficial?
Now, DJ Academics has more flaws than an 80s sci-fi film, and his disturbing decision-making is definitely deserving of some high-level questioning, including allowing Little Groom to be on his platform and constantly getting to speak on his platform, and really being available for live streams and getting to promote his platform and promote his music and all that nonsense. But even he was like, yo, we have tapes, we have brains, and we have eyes. We're not stupid now. Like, I can clearly see what's happening on the tape. You look like you're following the girl. Like, we all see it. Here's the police video that they had. Now, you need to really pay attention in the police video because it's really hard to see. You got to really pay attention to it in like the small parts of the corner. So just keep an eye out.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, that's those two.
And you'll see her jump out of the way.
Yeah, look how close he is to her. Like, he probably did. Look at that.
So, there we go.
Oh yeah, right there. It's my handwriting. I can read it. So, he lingers. Yeah, follows. Then grabs. Yeah.
Now, just in case you have some bad eyes and you really can't tell which one is Little Groom, he's the guy in the blue. So here's another camera angle of it, a little bit closer, so that way you can get a better look at it.
Yeah, follows. Then grabs.
Yeah, so it seems pretty open and shut that you were doing exactly what everybody thinks you were doing in the video. And the worst part of it, like, this is multiple different times in the same grocery store. Now he's sitting here trying to claim that I was cooking at home for my mom and I was grabbing stuff from Walmart. Like, dude, that is irrelevant. We see what's on the tape. And we saw that you were following these little girls around like a freaking creepo, like you are. And anybody who looks like Little Groom, I don't trust them. Anybody who's got them faded eyes or those eyes that look like they're just gone 24/7 and they're all rolling all over the place. Now, not everybody can help it. Like, some people have a lazy eye, but this guy's got one of those faded looks like he's just gone from reality. Like, he's just not here with us. Those individuals seem to have these crazy ideologies and these crazy thoughts that's going on in their head that nobody can really wrap their minds around. Like, it's just one of those things you can't put it on a paper. Like, it doesn't make any sense to anybody. And the video evidence is out there. And I hate when these people sit there and try to you know what? Let me just play it.
Are you allowed around kids? Because that's what they keep saying. He's allowed around kids legally. I've seen in the chat.
I am a free man. I can be around anybody I want. I am not on probation.
Okay. In the video, could you just explain from your perspective what was going on?
I'm gonna explain my perspective. Okay, for one, I did not touch a 10-year-old girl. You can't show me no video of me doing that because I didn't. If you listen to this quote unquote video that's in 4K, you will hear the police say, "Oh, he probably did it right there. He probably did it right there." The truth is, nigga. Okay, let me just say this. Let me just clear a lot of the air.
This guy is lying through his teeth so hard right now, he can literally bite through titanium. And DJ Academics knows that. He can see it, and he's trying his best not to call him out because he calls him his friend. So I'm trying to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt, even though a lot of people be giving DJ Academics a pass for a lot of stuff they don't need to be giving him a pass for. But I'm going to give him a pass here just because if it is somebody you consider to be a friend, you would like to at least hear their explanation, even though you know they're lying. But there's not going to be a whole lot to convince you at this point after you've seen the video, like you've seen it. But let's finish it.
All right. I did buy some shit at Walmart. It was my sister's birthday. I did buy something at Walmart. I sent you the receipt. You see my Cash App transaction. It's the same day, same time. So I did buy something from Walmart for one. For two, nigga, I was cooking. I was at my mom's house. That was my mom's crib. So I was cooking. That's why I was there.
Nobody believes that, dog. Nobody. And you kept trying to justify the fact that those papers you kept saying were not a police document. You thought they weren't really real or legitimate. I mean, man, it's just garbage.
Now, for the folks that watched Academics live stream when he made the analogy, he said this is like that guy that's standing outside of a white van trying to lure kids in there. It's like, did he actually get that charge? Did he get caught? Did you see him successfully get a kid in the van to know that he's a predator and a creep? No, you already know he's a pedo. It's stamped right there. We've seen it in 4K. But this motherfucker wants to make every excuse, move the goalpost, gaslight people, dance in folks' face to be unaccountable. This is pathetic.
There is no jokes to be made here. This is absolutely filthy. This is really nasty. This is disgusting, abhorrent behavior. And the fact that he just keeps trying to defend himself and justify it. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and play this last clip so you can see how ridiculous and to what level and length that this guy went to try to lie and act like what he did wasn't a big deal. Or like we couldn't see the video. Like we don't have eyes for ourselves. Like we are. I just got to play it.
But the video, like, that video is damning. Like it just looked like
what was trying to be spun versus what you see.
No, you play this. Like I'm thinking with my brain. Like, and I want to hear the things. I don't even think there's nothing. So for example, when I watch the video, you're like, I'm not following them. My brain is saying, no, you're following them. Like, nigga, anybody with a brain would say that. You're following them. My nigga, as soon as they left, you turned that way and you walked that way. Behind them.
I just explained that though.
No, I hear the explanation, but even the explanation, like play this. If I just get into a little awkward situation, I don't immediately follow the people. If they're spooked, I'm spooked.
It's anecdotal though. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, I do see what you're saying. It's just if this was so clear cut, black and white, the charges would show that, like for sure, 100%.
And this is where sickos and dumbasses in the chat who don't understand anything about the law will just fall for the trap of what he's talking about here in that last clip. Like, well, I wouldn't be allowed to be around children if this was actually true. Dude, like sometimes there are loopholes in the law that allow people to escape from these situations that don't put them into the actual directory. They can go out there and live their lives as freely as the rest of us, and they shouldn't. But they are allowed to because there are plenty of times where people can just exploit the law. Heck, Casey Anthony got off. So for the fact that that happened, I'm sorry, you got to start believing some things can be gotten away with at some point in time. Like, I mean, really, let's not go there. But I don't know. I think I've showed enough here today. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Once again, if you enjoyed some of this investigation work that's been done by some others, once again, shout out to LT, shout out to KB and these other guys who do some really great work on their platforms. It is much appreciated. And hopefully y'all don't try to strike me for using the content. I'm really just trying to put some exposure out there. So hopefully everybody got a little bit out of this today. And people like this, they're out there. I just want you to know they're out there. Anybody who is out there talking about, oh, I want a virgin wife, I want somebody who has no flaws, no blemishes, no acne on her skin, nothing. I don't want anybody with no maturity marks. These people need to be watched, and you need to keep a close eye out on them for you. I mean, you need to keep an eye on your children. As they say, hide your kids, hide your wife. They don't want your wife, they want your children. That's what they want. They want the kiddos. They want to go to the playgrounds. They're the weirdos at the park. They're the weirdos who's walking around doing a run each and every afternoon when there's actual clearly kids on the playground. These people, you gotta watch them. They're at the basketball games. They're at the luncheons. They're at meetings. They're at board meetings. They're everywhere you can imagine. Anywhere you go, they're there. Apartment complex, the mall, movies. There is no safe space. There's no safe place. You know, I just hope everybody is just careful out there. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day. Hopefully today wasn't too dark and depressing of a video, but hopefully you did enjoy the content that was out there as well. I just want to bring out some awareness. Thank you for tuning in to Ran-DomU. Peace.